श्रृंगार तेरा प्यारे, शोभा कहूँ क्या उसकी, इस पे गुलाबी पटका, उस पे गुलाबी साड़ी, फूलों से सज रहे हैं श्री वृंदावन बिहारी। चुन चुन के कलियां जिसने बंगला तेरा बनाया, श्याम बंगला तेरा बनाया, आभूषणों से सुंदर जिसने तुम्हें सजाया, जिसने तुम्हें सजाया, उन हाथों के मैं सदके, उन हाथों पे मैं वारी, फूलों से सज रहे हैं श्री वृंदावन बिहारी। टेढ़ा सा मुकुट रूप, टेढ़ा सा मुकुट सर पे रखा है किस अदा से, रखा है किस अदा से, करुणा बरस रही है, करुणा भरी निगाह से, करुणा भरी निगाह से, जिन मोती बिक गई है, बिन मोल बिक गई है, जब से छवि निहारी, फूलों से सज रहे हैं। नीलम से सोहे मोहन, स्वर्णिम सी है राधा, श्री राधे राधे।
We ask you all to join with us with our Havan this morning, and I hope you enjoyed. We are going to do some Gayatri Havan, some little bit of Navagraha Havan, and ask for peace and Shanti in the world.
Om Agrimine Brogidam Yajnastu Hridam Mudaranadhadam Vitagdim Pratishtapanam Damatpadami Namaha. Om Adidena Manaswaha, Om Amadena Manaswaha, Om Sarasvadena Manaswaha, Om Devasaveda Prasava, Om Ginanantva Ginapathidam Vavamahe, Kavim Kavinagamassavattavam, Yetarajam Brahmanam Brahmanasvare, Anasvandanodagasya Dhavadanahe Swaha, Om Yekanandari Vimahe Vakrasundari Vimahe, Tanno Dandi Pradodayate Swaha, Om Shrim Hrim Ram Glam Ganganabhage Varavarga Sarvajaname Vasamane Swaha, Om Shuddhajaja Vidmahe Om Shrim Hrim Klim Lam Glum Ganganabhage Varavarga Sarvajaname Vasamane Swaha, Om Aswatthadaja Vidmahe Padmahastāja Dhīmahe Tanna Surya Prachodayāte Swaha, Om Nishākaraja Vidmahe Kalanādaja Dhīmahe Tanna Chandra Prachodayāte Swaha, Om Angarakaja Vidmahe Bhumikāraja Dhīmahe Tanno Bhuja Prachodayāte Swaha, ओम बुधग्रहाय विद्महे इंदुपुत्राय धीमहि तन्नः सौम्य प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ओम सुराचार्याय विद्महे सुरश्रेष्ठाय धीमहि तन्नो गुरुः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ओम रजदावाय विद्महे भृगुसुताय धीमहि तन्नः शुक्र प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ओम शनिश्चराय विद्महे सूर्यपुत्राय धीमहि तन्नो मन्त्रः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ओम सुखदन्ताय विद्महे उग्ररूपाय धीमहि तन्नो राहुः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ओम चित्रवर्णाय विद्महे सर्परूपाय धीमहि तन्नः केतुः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ओम ब्रह्मा मुरारे त्रिपुरान्धकारी दानुद्दति भूमिसुतो बुधश्च गुरुश्च शुक्रः शनिराहु केतवः सर्वे ग्रहाः शान्तिकराभवन्तु स्वाहा ओम त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकं गमन्धन मृत्योर्मुक्ते जमामृत स्वाहा ओम त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकं गमन्धन मृत्योर्मुक्ते जमामृत स्वाहा ओम नारायणाय विद्महे वासुदेवाय धीमहि तन्नो विष्णु प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ओम महादेव्यै च विद्महे विष्णुपत्न्यै च धीमहि तन्नो लक्ष्मी प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ओम कात्यायनाय विद्महे कन्याकुमारी धीमहि तन्नो दुर्गी प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ओम उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं विष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा ओम वज्रनकाय विद्महे तीक्ष्णदंष्ट्राय धीमहि तन्नो नारसिंह प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ओम भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ओम स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि
आजकल काफी लोग गाते हैं।
हाँ गाते हैं बिल्कुल।
यूट्यूब पे बहुत सारे वीडियो मिलेंगे आपको गाते हुए।
कारुण्य
बजाइए भाई. We welcome you this morning to our puja, our service, and we hope you will get some peace of mind from it, some hope, some inspiration. The COVID is still on, and we have to be extremely careful, we have to be cautious, and we have to maintain our distance. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu.
Sarvesham swastir bhavatu.
Sarvesham purnam bhavatu.
Sarvesham purnam bhavatu.
Sarvesham mangalam bhavatu.
Sarvesham mangalam bhavatu.
Sarvesham shantir bhavatu.
Sarvesham shantir bhavatu.
Let's talk to God, the infinite being who lies in our heart. Let's awaken him this morning as we give our gratitude, our thanks to him. Shatakaram bhujagashainam padmanabhyam suresham vishwadharam gaganasadisam megavaranam shubhagam Lakshmir Kaltav Kamalanayanam Yogi Vidyanagamyam Bande Vishnu Bhava Bhayaharam Sarvalokaikanatham. Vallabhakaya Suryakote Tavaprabha Nirvigram Kurube Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Satchidalalrupaya Vishvotpatyadihetave Tapatyaya Vinashaya Shri Krishnaya Vayam Namaha. Let's give पवन मुकुर सुधार वरणौ रघुवर विमल जसु जोदायक फल चार उदीर तनु जानिक सुमिरौ पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेश विकार मंगल भवन अमंगल हारी
मंगल भवन अमंगल हारी
मंगल भवन अमंगल हारी
मंगल भवन अमंगल हारी
जब दशरथ यजर बिहारी
प्रभु सुदशरथ अजिर बिहारी
मंगल भवन अमंगल
ओ मंगल भवन अमंगल हारी
जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई
जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई
जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई
ओ जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई
कृपा करो गुरुदेव की नाई
कृपा करो गुरुदेव की नाही
मंगल भवन अमंगल
ओ मंगल भवन अमंगल हारी
जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई
ओ जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई राम 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 सीता राम 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 राजा राम 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 सीता राम 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 सीता राम राम राम
राजा राम राम राम
सीता राम राम राम
राजा राम राम राम
सीता राम राम राम
राजा राम राम राम
सीता राम राम राम
राजा राम राम राम
सीता राम राम राम
राजा राम राम राम
सीता राम राम राम
राजा राम राम राम
सीता राम 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 सीता राम राम राम
राजा राम राम राम
सीता राम राम राम
राजा राम राम राम
सीता राम राम राम
राजा राम राम राम
सीता राम राम राम
राजा राम राम राम
सीता राम राम राम
पवन तनय संकट हरण
राजा राम 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 सीता राम 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 राजा राम 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 सीता राम 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 राजा राम 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 सीता राम 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 राजा राम 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 सीता राम राम राजा राम 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 सीता राम 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 राजा राम 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 सीता राम राम राम
आश्रम एक दिखम गमाही. Balkad above Duha 290. 210, sorry, 210. आश्रम एक दिखम गमाही. खग मृग जीव जंतु तदाये. खग मृग जीव जंतु नहीं पाए.
श्री राम जय जय राम. श्री राम जय राम.
श्री राम जय जय राम.
श्री राम जय राम.
चामुने सिला प्रभु देखी. सकल कथा मुने कही विशेषी. सकल कथा मुने विशेषी.
श्री राम जय राम. श्री राम जय राम.
श्री राम जय जय राम. उन्हें रास्ते में एक आश्रम दिखाई पड़ा. वहाँ पशु पक्षी जीव जंतु न थे. On the way, Lord Rama and Vishwamitra, they saw an ashram. This morning I'm going to talk to you about surrender. And this is why I pick out this story. On the way, while Sri Ram, Lakshman and their Guru Vishwamitra were going to the Dhanush Yagya in Janakpur, they saw an ashram. That ashram there were no birds even there. There were no animals running around there. There were no flowers there. There were no living creature there. But what he saw? Pucha Munihi Sila Prabhu देखी. जब पत्थर की एक शिला को देखकर प्रभु ने पूछा. क्या पूछा? तब मुनि ने विस्तार पूर्वक सब कथा कह सुनाई. Lord Rama saw a huge rock there. And then he asked his Guru Vishwamitra, what is this rock for? This big rock. Gautamanari Shrapavasa Upala Deha Dhari Dhira Rama Upala Deha Dhari Dhira Charana Kamala Rajajahate Kripa Karaho Raghuvira Rama Kripa Karaho Raghuvira.
सियापति रामचंद्र भजे शरणम. शंकर हरि ओम जय जय सिया राम.
He said, what is this rock about? Gautamanari Shrapavas. Rishi Gautam had given a shrap to his wife Ahalya. Upalade dharidhir charana kamala rajachagati kripa karahu raghubir. Because Gautam wrongfully cursed his wife, not rightfully, wrongfully. He turned her into a stone. And Vishwamit says that she's waiting for you to put the dust of your feet upon her. Not to put your foot upon her, but the dust of your feet upon her. Parasata parapavana shokana savana pragata bhai tata punja sahi dekhatara gudayak jana sukhadayak jana sukha hoi kajore rahe ati prema adhira pulaka sharira mukha nahi avaya bachana kahi atishaya bhagi chala nahi lagi jogada yata jaldhara bhai Sita Ram 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 Sita Ram 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 Sita Ram 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 Sita Ram 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 Sita Ram Ram Sita Ram 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 Sita Ram 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 Sita Ram Ram Ram. When Gautam, the wife of Gautam, who was Ahalya, when she was transformed into a lady again, she then bowed to the Lord. And what she said? The dharmanishtoshme nacha atma vede. This is sloka I told you in Sanskrit 2 weeks ago, but I did not put it in English. Someone told me I should put it in English so you all can understand it. Can you put it on the screen, please? Dharmanishtoshme nacha atma vede bhakti matvat charanara vilde akincha ananya gati sharanya tvatpada moolam sharanam prapadye. Can you go put it on the screen? You will put it on the screen? Is there? Okay. Na dharmanishtoshmi na cha atma vedi. Oh Lord, I told you this before, but I want to repeat it again today because this is such an important prayer. Oh Lord, I don't know any dharma. I don't know any dhyan. What I would like to ask you, to urge you, to get up in the morning. I would ask you to get up at 4 o'clock. But I would like all of us to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. 5 o'clock in the morning. When is the time, not of Brahma, when is the time of Brahm Muhurt. Children who study late at night, from 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. I am telling you today, I have studied more than all you all have studied. I am telling you practical experience. I have studied more than all you all have studied. I have done more exams than any one of you all could have done. Not to boast about it, but it is a fact of life. I did 4 FRCSs. 4. Not 1, 4. Edinburgh, England, 2 in Canada. I am telling you, and I would like all the students to know this. Instead of studying until 1 o'clock in the morning or 12 o'clock midnight when you're tired, go to bed at 9:30, and get up in the morning at 4 o'clock. The amount of work you'll put in between 4 and 6 is more than 8 hours you could put in when you're tired. Believe me. And for people who are doing business, people who are going to introspect, this is the time to get up. And what you do, you say this prayer. Or any prayer. You don't have to say this prayer. But this is a beautiful prayer. न धर्मनिष्ठोऽस्मि न च आत्मवेदी न भक्तिमान् त्वत् चरणारविन्दे. Lord, I do not know dharma. Lord, I do not know how to meditate upon you. I do not have the bhakti in your divine feet. Akilcha, one who does not have anything. Ananya, one who is totally dependent upon you. Akincha, Ananya Gati Sharanya. Sharanya, I take refuge. Tvat pada moolam. Pada moolam, your feet, O Lord. Tvat, your feet. Tvat pada moolam. Sharadau prapadye. This is what Ahalya said unto. This is what Ahalya said unto Sri Ram. Akincha. I don't have anything. Meaning, you may have all the material possessions in the world, but when you go to the Lord, you are saying to Him, Lord, I have nothing. Nothing. Ananya, I'm totally dependent upon you. Meaning, that if you want to surrender to the Lord, there are few qualities that we must have. And those few qualities are that whatever you must, in your mind, whatever God has meted out unto you, do not argue about it. Whatever God has meted out meaning what He has given to you, what He has caused to happen to you, do not have any doubts about Him. And have faith that God will protect you. This is all surrender. Have faith that God will always protect you. And what surrender means? We must be grateful for everything in life. Just like how we are grateful for our parents. The fellow says to his father, why do I have to be grateful to you? Your father did for you, you did for me, I'll do for my child. This is happening today. This is happening today. Why? Because we have our values in the wrong places. But if we learn to surrender to Guru and to God, and when we surrender like this, and we ask, God, whatever you have given me, I'm happy. Difficult. What I'm saying here is difficult to accept. Because sometimes God gives you things, or your children, or your father, and you'll say, why me? Is that true? Why me? I pray so much. The other person does not pray. Why me? So when we do this, a transformation will happen to us. When you surrender to Him, a transformation will happen. What is a transformation? Transformation means you want to change the very form that you are right now. Transformation does not mean you build muscles or you build a six-pack belly. That's a transformation for your physical well-being. But when you want to transform to such a way that you have become something different. There was a king, and his name was Bhartrihari. Bhartrihari, have you heard of him? He wrote 100 verses on romance and all sorts of sexual things. And afterwards, when he became transformed, he wrote 100 verses on Vairagya Shataka. He turned 180 degrees because we are saying to him, Akincha, Ananya, we are dependent upon you. And he was transformed. You know how he was transformed? A sadhu came to him and gave him a fruit. As if you eat this fruit, you will live very long. What I'm telling you here today is not what we call a Guyana Nancy story. This is a fact of life. He had the fruit. Being a king, he had so many queens. He loved the youngest queen the most, as always happened. So he thought, why should I eat this fruit? I must give it to my young queen. Told the young queen, you eat this fruit and you'll live very long. The young queen decided that she don't love the king. She loved the daroga, the superintendent. So she gave the fruit to the superintendent. The superintendent loved a prostitute. So he went to the prostitute. And he gave the fruit to the prostitute. The prostitute said, I really want to change my life. I owe everything to my king. My king is a dharmic king. She took, since she heard that this fruit will give you long life, she took the fruit and gave it back to the king. And then the king investigated. I said, this is what life is about. He ate the fruit. And he changed. And he became a great, great sadhu, a great disciple. Left his kingdom. And you know who was his son? His son was Vikramaditya. Have you heard of Vikramaditya? Vikramaditya made so many Shiva temples all over in Arabia and everything. He made Shiva temples in the olden times. And that Vikramaditya is the one our somewhat is according to his name is called when our Sankalpa is called Vikramaditya. So we must try to transform. But what prevents us from transforming? The next slide. What prevents us from transforming is that if you do not control yourself, your worldly passions and desires will blind you. It makes you take irrational decisions. This is a very beautiful slide. It jeopardizes your future. So if you would like to surrender, let me go back to what I say. Surrender when we think that everything is His. And every human being is His creation. And just as how I love myself, I must love every human being. I must love every animal. I must love every plant. Just like how I love. Similarly, I must love the Lord like this. And I must take shelter in Him. And when I take shelter in Him, तुमको देखा तो ये ख्याल जिंदगी तू तुमको देखा तो ये ख्याल आया तुमको देखा तो ये ख्याल आया जिंदगी तू तुम घना साया जिंदगी तू तुम घना साया तुमको देखा तो ये ख्याल आया. What do you say to the Lord? When I see you, this inspiration come to me. Zindagi dhoop, this sun is burning me in this life. What? And you are my what? You are my shadow. You are the one who cools me down. तुमको देखा तो ये ख्याल आया जिंदगी धूप तुम घना साया तुमको देखा साया आज फिर को अब समझाया आज फिर दिल को अब समझाया जिंदगी धूप तुम घना साया जिंदगी धूप तुम घना साया तुमको देखा तो ख्याल आया Again, you are telling me, Prabhu, I look at you and you take away this burning for me, this burning, this desire, which desires in this life, which prevents me from surrendering. One desire, next, but no desire for you. I have desire for everything, but I have no desire for you. तुम चले जाओगे तो सोचेंगे तुम चले जाओगे तो सोचेंगे हमने क्या खोया हमने क्या पाया हमने क्या खोया What have I lost? What have I gained? Oh Prabhu तुम घना साया जिंदगी दो
तुम घना साया तुमको देखा तो ये
ख्याल आया तुमको देखा तो ख्याल आया When you see the Lord, when the Lord comes into your heart, so Bhartrihari, he went and he became a sadhu. And when you surrender like that to the Lord, positive thoughts will come to you. Good thoughts will come to you. Especially when you get up early in the morning and you see, and you are, when you get up early in the morning, what is one of the most beneficial thing? Is a solitude. There's a calmness. This is the time when the devas are doing their meditation to God, to Brahman. You are catching those cosmic rays. Cosmic, we all have heard of the cosmos, and it's in that cosmos. It is called, our scriptures tell us about something called Akasha. Akash, literally translated, means the sky. But Akash means the cosmos. And when you tap into that cosmos, I don't want to go into too much of very deep scientific things here, but when you tap into that cosmos, there's something called the Akashic. What? Akashic? No? Never heard of this before? Akashic records. There's the Akashic. I've spoken to this. I've spoken about this before. The Akashic records of each and every person is up there in the cosmos. If you think that your computer is good, and these Akashic records are not spoken only about, I talk about this, Carl Sagan, all those great scientists, they spoke about the Akashic records, and they spoke about the Vedic philosophy, which is thousands of years old, who talked about the Akashic records. And in the Akashic records, why you get up early in the morning and you tap into in the cosmic vibrations, because those Akashic records are the records of your whole life, not this life, but all the past lives and the future lives to come. Phenomenal. This is all Hindu philosophy. This is all Hindu philosophy. And it tells you that, as I said earlier, if you surrender to the Lord and said, Lord, your way is the best way. I can only follow. I am saying this again to you. To say this is easy, but when the rain falls on your doorstep, you will change your version. You will not say, Lord, I will follow what you say. You'll have different thoughts then. Why me? Why this? Different thoughts. But the Akashic records I want to go back to. Why you get up at 4 o'clock in the morning? I challenge all students. I challenge all businessmen. I challenge every person who has it in them to think. You know, there was has anyone ever heard of Kalpana Saroj? What has happened to Kalpana Saroj can happen to you if you get up in the morning and tap into the cosmos. Kalpana Saroj was married when she was 12. She went to the home that she was married in. It was a home of 10, and she was married in the slums of Mumbai. And there, she had to cook and clean and so forth for 10 people. And if she slips, they beat her. After 6 months, her father, after 6 months, her father went to see her. He saw her all emaciated. He took her home. In those days, and still today, when a girl child is married, you can't leave your husband home and go back to your father home. You become an outcast in the society. She then tried to kill herself. She drank insecticide. Her aunt saw her, took her to the hospital. She survived it. She told her mother, look, I want to go back to Mumbai because that's the only place I can do some business. The mother said, you can't go. She started to kill herself on the railway track. Her mother decided, okay, you go. She went to Mumbai, and there she lived with a relative. And she started a little sewing business. One machine, she got an old machine, she got and she repaired, started a sewing business. She started to sew, and she started to make some money. Her parents lost their home. She brought the parents, rented an apartment. While she was sewing, she had enough money to look after the parents, etc., etc. Then she was saying, how can I make this business better? Positive thinking. She did not go and say, oh, I'm so sorry for myself. Look, God has given this person so much money. He has given Bill Gates so much money. He has given Warren Buffett so much money. Look at me, I'm so poor. No. What is Warren Buffett's own is Warren Buffett's own. What is Bill Gates' own is Bill Gates' own. What can I do for myself? This is positive thinking. You might say you come to a temple for kirtan and prayer. Here I talk about positive thinking and all sorts of things. But this is what prayers do for you. And she saw that a business can be opened and she can get 50,000 rupees loan. She took that 50,000. I said, one machine? She had 6 machines.
more machines. And she built up, and she built up, and she built up. Instead of only doing sewing, she decided to make furnitures. She did beautiful furniture, and so her business grew. Our business grew. And there was another an industry called Kamani Industries, which was going bankrupt. They gave it to the workers. The workers then heard about her, because now she's getting up in fame that she's a big businesswoman. This is a 12-year-old lady who didn't have much of an education. They went to her. She took over the business, made a good business, and now she is on the board of directors today. Today, as I'm speaking to you. What I'm telling you here is not what's written in Ramayana. I'm telling you today what is happening today. That you could take this as a fact. She is on the board of Bangalore, or the board of directors, which is what kind of technology it is? These technological schools that teach IT, IIT Bangalore. She is a chairman there. Not chairman, she's on the board of directors, and her name is Kalpana Saroj. I ask you, I know you don't know it, look it up. Google her name. Saroj, first name, Kalpana. This is what positive thinking does for us. And this is what when we get up early in the morning and we leave all in the hands of the Lord. Krodhana Chora.
क्यों छोड़ दिया
सत्य वचन क्यों छोड़ दिया
तूने सत्य वचन क्यों छोड़ दिया
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा
रतन क्यों छोड़ दिया, नाम
रतन क्यों छोड़ दिया तूने,
नाम रतन क्यों छोड़ दिया तूने, नाम जपन क्यों छोड़ दिया तूने, नाम जपन क्यों छोड़ दिया।
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे,
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे,
हरे राम 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 हरे हरे,
हरे राम 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 हरे हरे,
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, बोलो
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे,
राम 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 हरे हरे,
हरे राम 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 हरे
We always say this world is in a total mess. Is that true? Don't you say that? Who has made it a mess? The world is a beautiful place. You go up on the moon, and you look up on Earth, and you see what a beautiful place it is. How are you? Can you ease up here? Can you put this bag somewhere there until I finish? Thank you. So when you go up on the moon, you look up on Earth, and Earth looks like a total paradise. There are mountains, there are lakes, there are trees, there are super beautiful birds. Have you ever had time to look at the birds? Have you ever had time to look right here in Canada? Have you had time to look at the beautiful birds? You don't have to go to India or to Guyana forest to look at birds. Here, so many different cardinals, blue jays, all sorts of birds will come. If you're fortunate and you have a place where you can put a little feeder, you will see how many different birds will come. What I'm trying to say to you, this world is a beautiful place. And we say this world is a total mess. And because we say this world is a total mess, this drives people to alcohol, to drugs, to wake up late at nights. When you sleep in the morning and you get up in the morning, what's the first thing you do? You pick up your phone. You want to see, did I miss any call last night? Did I get any message last night? Oh, nobody messaged me. Oh, nobody likes me. And you have no time. You have to say, no, you are a beautiful body. God lives within you. In this heart, God lives there. Of course, you tell your sweetheart that she lives here too, but she doesn't live there. Only you live there. But I don't want to get into that. Only God lives there in your heart. And God lives in your heart. In that heart, you must keep that heart pure. Niramala mana jana somohi pava. Niramala mana jana somohi pava. Mohi kapata chala chedana bhava. Mohi kapata
छिल छिल भावा
Sri Ram Jai Ram
जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
And then you have that Aadhar, that trust upon Bhagwan. When you have that Aadhar, that trust, Mere to Aadhar, Sita Ram ke Charnar
मेरे तो आधार सीताराम के चरणार विंद
Ram ke Charnar Ram ke Charnar
राम के चरणार विंद राघव के चरणार विंद आधार सीताराम के चरणार विंद मेरे
when you have that trust upon the Lord, you know, when the Devas were churning the ocean to get the Amrit, for the Amrit to come, the Devas had to churn the ocean. And they used a mountain to churn the ocean. You all know that. Mount Mandara. But what happened? The mountain was sinking in the ocean. And the Devas started to pray, Mere tu Adhar. Prabhu, only you can save us now. Then what Prabhu did? Prabhu went and he formed, what? Kashyap avatar, and went and put the mountain upon his back. When you have that trust in the Lord, things will happen to you in this life. You have to say, Prabhu, as I said, if you want to surrender to Him, if you want to surrender, I told you this morning, that if you want to surrender to Him, you have to say, your way is your way, my Lord. I bow to your way. It does not mean that you can't try. Please don't misinterpret what I'm saying and feel that, we just do what the Lord says and we must not. No, we have to try. He's testing us from time to time. We have to try. We have to better ourselves. We have to educate ourselves. We have to learn. We have to introspect. Am I doing the right thing when I go to bed at night? Did I do the right thing today? Who did I wrong today? Maybe I should call them tomorrow morning and ask them pardon, apologize, tell them I'm sorry. 3 hard words to say. 3 very difficult words to say is, I am sorry. That is why one of the clauses of surrender is what? When you surrender, you must not have that pride. I have surrendered. That's an abhiman. When you have that pride, that you know what? I have surrendered, then the whole surrendering thing goes through the window. You must always have that faith in Him and ask Him, Lord, never allow me to show off with pride. That I have pride in my bhakti. I have pride in my devotion. So many people I see in the same temple here. I watch them and I just smile in my heart. When I watch them, I say, that person who have not doing this thing right. He's not, instead of putting 1 supari, he put 2 supari. Instead of putting the pan this way, he put the pan that way. Have you not seen that? Have you not heard that? Why? Oh, that's not the way to put the pan. That's not the way to put the bilwa patra. This is not the way. This is what is called the lowest form of devotion. I know some people say, you should put the sindoor like that. I should put the sindoor like this. Who tell you? How do you know? How do you know what is right and what is wrong? We don't know. We go with our sampradaya, whatever people do and so forth, that's fine. But when people do something and they do it out of love, you ask God, Lord, don't allow me not to go there and criticize. If I could say, maybe you know what, they usually do it like this, but that's fine, that's acceptable. But next time maybe you should do it this way. You can say that if you want. But none of us have seen God. None of us know what God was or what God is. All man-made. Everything that you see there is man-made. Every single thing is man-made. So believe in yourself and believe you have everything within you to make you a strong person. And you can be like Kalpana Saroj and rise one day. As they say, the cream always, what? The cream always rises to the top. Okay. And each and every one of us have that seed in us where we can grow into a big. Look at a big tree. Look at the seed of an oak tree, how small it is. If I tell you this little seed can be this big tree, you will say, maybe I don't think so. If you didn't know that it is a fact, but it is a fact. And that is why Nadharmanishtoshmi Nacha Atmavede Nabhakti Madhvat Charanarabilde Akincha Ananyagati Sharaya Tvatpadamulam Sharanam Prapadye Tadharmunishtoshvinacha Atmavede Nabhakti Martvat Charanarabilde Akincha Ananyagati Sharaya Tvatpadamulam Sharanam Prapadye. Lord, Akincha. I know I'm repeating it, but I want to let you know how important it is. Akincha means one who does not have anything. Ananya Gati, one who is totally dependent upon you. But we are not totally dependent on the Lord. We always what? Hold back something. Is that? Jai Krishna Hare, Shri Krishna Hare, Dukhiyo ko dukha dur kare.
Jai 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 Krishna Hare, Jai Krishna Hare, Shri Krishna Hare, दुखियों के दुख दूर करे. जय 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 कृष्ण हरे.
श्यामा तेरे चरणों की हर धूल जो मिल जाए, हर धूल जो मिल जाए, सच कहता हूँ मेरे, सच कहता हूँ मेरे, तकदीर बदल जाए,
तकदीर बदल जाए, राधे तेरे चरणों की, श्यामा तेरे चरणों की।
I bow to the feet of Radharani. I take the dust of your feet. So my luck will change. तकदीर बदल जाए. सुनता हूँ तेरी रहमत दिन रात बरसती है.
सुनता हूँ तेरी रहमत दिन रात बरसती है।
एक बूंद जो मिल जाए,
एक बूंद जो मिल जाए, कल जीवन खिल जाए, कल जीवन की खिल जाए।
राधे तेरे चरणों के, श्यामा तेरे चरणों के,
राधे तेरे चरणों की, श्यामा तेरे चरणों की।
So this morning on the medical aspect, I would like to speak about constipation. Some of us are physically constipated. Some of us are mentally constipated. I'm not talking about mental constipation, I'm talking about physical constipation. And why I'm talking about constipation, I know it's the subject that is people probably would not want to talk about. I didn't want to show the picture of the colon with all the business inside that may get you upset. But constipation is what is called unsatisfactory defecation. Unsatisfactory. You go, you pass some stool and you don't feel that everything has passed out. This is an important topic. You know how many millions of people are affected by constipation? Millions! And people wrote me and asked, can you talk about constipation? And constipation, why I'm talking about it, is because when you are constipated, not only you strain, but you can cut yourself with constipation. And that cutting in the anal region is called fissure, F-I-S-S-U-R-E, fissure. Fissure in ano. Ano means anal canal, is Latin. And it's a very, very, what?
Painful.
Painful. Very painful. Very, very painful. Because when you see, the anus has a muscle which prevents things from coming out. So when it cut, this is smooth muscle there, they become very, very, they go into spasm. And when they go into spasm, you can't pass through because you're afraid to go. So it's a vicious circle. So you want to prevent these things from happening to you. And because of this, you see, when you eat, the nutrients go into the small intestine. There are a lot of juices in the small intestine, pancreatic juice, bile, and all that makes the food liquefy, and lots of it is absorbed by the small intestine for your well-being. The small intestine
absorbs all the nutrients. And that is where I talk to you about the leaky gut. The leaky gut occurs in the small intestine. The large intestine, when the effluent goes to what they call the largest intestine, what they call the cecum. It's very fluidy there, very liquidy. So the large intestine is the one that absorbs the fluid. So if you have small amounts of fluid, if you don't drink enough water, the colon will absorb the water that the body needs, and then the stool becomes extremely hard. And when it becomes extremely hard, it's difficult for you, as you know. One of the things which helps us a lot to prevent, you see, constipation was not common in India and Africa. You know why? You know, that's not common. It's there, but not very common. You don't hear people from India and Africa complaining a lot about constipation. You know why? It's because they eat what they call lots of roughage, lots of fiber. In Africa, they eat corn and they eat lots of these ground things and so forth. They eat a lot of it. India, we eat a lot of rice. Lots of rice is eaten in Punjab and all over India. They eat lots of rice. So, but when we come over here, we go into the diet mode, we go into all sorts of mode, and we forget that there's an important aspect of us is defecation. And this is where you must drink. Some people say you should drink at least 6 liters of water a day, but I'm saying to you, if you can drink 2.5 liters of water every day, you will not have this problem. And if you eat a lot of leaves and vegetables, which is not absorbed by the small intestine, it goes into the largest intestine. It forms bulk. And when bulk is formed, it goes. That is why you see some people, they want to go to the washroom as soon as they eat. It's called gastrocolic reflex. When the stomach lies on top of the transverse colon, and when it gets bloated, it stimulates the transverse colon. It starts to move. It's called in medical language peristalsis. It moves, and when it moves and it goes there, it causes you to want to go to the washroom. So you have to drink lots of water. You have to eat a lot of fiber. And many causes of constipation, it's common with aging because your muscles are weak. You know, in India and in Guyana, before we come to this luxurious place, we used to squat. You all remember that? You used to squat to defecate, and that was the best method of defecation. You know that? Yeah. It's the best method. When your bottom is below your knees. That is why people now, they put a footstool in the bathroom so their knees are above the bottom. But in India, those places, we squat. And when you squat, there was no problem with defecation. And when you squat in an upright position. But when you slouch, the muscles do not work well together. Put it in that parlance. So when you go to the toilet, you should sit erect. But some of us sit like this. You should sit erect. And if you got a place where you can squat, is the best thing to do to squat. I know some people, when they come here, they squat on top of the toilet. We know that, right in the same temple here. So, many causes of constipation is poor diet. I mentioned medications. Don't forget medication. Common medication that all of us take and we get constipated, and we do not know why it is causing us constipation, is when we take Tylenol, which has codeine in it. Codeine causes constipation. So when you get pain, you get surgery, you get pain, they give you Tylenol number 3 and number 2, which has codeine. Plain Tylenol will not make you constipated, but Tylenol I'm just saying Tylenol with choline, so because this is a common drug that we all use. Tylenol with choline, any form of choline things will cause you to constipate. So medications is next. And then other diseases. What's the next slide? What? Causes of inadequate fluid intake. I told you about dehydration. Ignoring the urge to have a bowel movement or delaying it till later. When you have an urge for a bowel movement, you should go and answer to the call. Because when you wait, what happens? When you want to go, then it does not come anymore. So when you go, and Indian people don't have a problem with that. All over India, wherever you go, there's no problem. When you want to feel right away, no problem. So ignoring the urge to have a bowel movement or delaying it till later, lack of physical exercise, etc. Misuse of laxatives. When you use laxative upon laxative upon laxative upon laxative, your body becomes accustomed to this laxative, and then the laxative does not work anymore, and you become constipated. So we should let people know that misuse of laxative is not the best form. If it comes to a time when the stool is so constipated that it can't pass and you need some laxative, then of course you have to use it. Poor posture, etc. So this is a little talk on constipation. Next week, I will talk about fissure in ano, how is it caused, and hemorrhoids, how is it caused, because these are some of the common things. We are going to do the Gita now. Gita chapter, what is it? Chapter 5, verse 2. Sri Krishna Govind Hare Murare
He Nath Narayan Vasudeva
Sri Nath Narayan Vasudeva
He Nath Narayan Vasudeva
Pivasvat Vita Deva
Govinda Damo Dharmadaveti
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 Krishna Govinda Hare Murare
He Nath Narayan Vasudeva
And we must learn to focus. Before I talk about the Gita Shlok, learn to focus. And when you can focus, you can see how you can change your whole lifestyle. Focus. Focus means that, there's a book called, if you all want to read about focusing, there's a book called Wrapped. R-A-P-T. Wrapped. I don't know why I give you all these names, because I know you never will use it, you never will know about it, and you'll never read about it. Wrapped. So we wrapped in this book. This lady talked about a person who had cancer. Stage 4 cancer. Stage 4 cancer, means bad cancer. So she was quite sick. vomiting, can't eat, no energy. So what she decided to do? She decided that instead of my focusing on my cancer, I would take up art. I just started doing art. While she was doing art, her focus was more on art than, see how simple it is? Doctors don't tell you these things when you go to them. I'm a doctor myself. We don't tell patients these things. We have our prescription pad ready and our pen. When you go to the doctor's office, Tylenol, antibiotics, it's all there. Is that true? Yeah. Doctors don't tell patients these things. One, they blame it on busyness. Two, they don't know. And three, they feel if they talk this way, people will not come to them anymore because there is a voodoo doctor. But when she found that her focus was changed from the cancer to her art, the cancer was still there. She was not cured from the cancer, but the symptoms of the cancer became less for her because her focus was in a different place. That is why we must get up 4 o'clock in the morning. That is why we must do meditation, so that we can change our focus. You know Vivekananda? Swami Vivekananda? He only lived 38, 39 years. Shankara lived only 32 years. Jesus Christ only lived 33 years. Is that true? Yeah. They only lived on this, but yet what they have put down upon the earth, billions of people follow them. You don't have to live to 100 to do it. You just have to do it. When Swami Vivekananda went to the library and he would borrow books, huge books, especially encyclopedia he loved to read, he would take the book back to the library and the man would say to him, "You mean you read all these books already?" He said, "Yes." He said, Swami Vivekananda will ask the librarian, "You want to test me? Turn to a page and start, and I will tell you." So much was his focus. So great. He was one of the persons who started the revolution for the independence of India, or together with him. He was very great about arise and awake. You know that story. Mm-hmm. So we do meditation, we do prayers, we do good work, so that we can learn to focus on the good things of life. So even when the bad things happen to us, the bad things take a back seat, and the good things come in front. And this is what the Gita Shloka is about. Sri Bhagavan Vacha
Shri Bhagavan Vacha
Saryasa Karma Yogascha Nishreya Saryasa Karma Yogascha Nishreyas Karavubhau Tayostu Karma Salyasat Karma Yogo Vishishyate Salyasa Karma Yogascha Nishreyas Karavubhau Tayostu Karma Salyasat Karma Yogo Vishishyate. Bhagavan Krishna said to Arjun, the renunciation of work and work in devotion are both good for liberation. Not only you must renounce, you must work. But when you work, do not look for someone to tell you, "Oh, what a great job you have done." But all of us, from the Pope right down, when he does something good, he would like to hear, I did a good prayer this morning. I did a good job." When you do bad things, nobody tell you about them, right? So but Bhagavan Krishna is saying, when you do good for people, it's called devotional service. Devotional service. Make your service an act of devotion. And when you make your service an act of devotion, your blessings will be counted in millions. But when your service is only to show what I have done, then the blessings is not the same. Your service, because what we say, the Lord in our text says, the Lord likes the smell of sweat. He does not want you to lie down on your laurels and say, no, you must work. There's nothing like retiring in the Lord's syllabus. You don't retire. You work. You work and work and work and work until you can't work anymore. And if you can work to relieve the sufferings of a human being, if you can give a child an education, if you can give some clothing, books, pencil, good health, clean water, whatever, it's called devotional. Unfortunately, we don't look at it. We don't look at the world in this light. We look at the world in the light where we can grab for ourselves, where we can get for ourselves, where we can do for ourselves. That's how we look at the world. We are going to go into meditation, and then we are going to continue. We have with us Colonel Nuds, and he has a few guests with him. We'll hear from them a little later, after meditation. प्रभु जी दया करो मन में आद बसो Can you put it on the screen, please? तुम बिना लागे सुना तुम बिना लागे सुना खाली प्रेम भरो खाली घट में प्रेम भरो प्रभु जी करो
Testing 1 2 test 1 2 testing 1 2 hello 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 we don't have one testing
करो
दया करो
मन में हर बसो We do 2 pranayams and then we go into silence. In your silence, talk to the God that you know. Ask Him to bless you. There's one devotee, her father, 2 years since he died. We asked for his sadgati. Pray for him. Pranayam and silence. In your silence, talk to God.
त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्
असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय ओम शांति 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 ओम शांति शांति शांति
भक्ति के दीप जलाओ
भक्ति के दीप जलाओ
जीवन को स्वर्ग बनाओ
जीवन को स्वर्ग बनाओ
जरा से पीड़ मिटाओ
अमृत रस बरसाओ ओम शांति 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 ओम शांति शांति शांति
जीवन को नित महकाओ
जीवन को नित महकाओ
सब अवगुण को बिसराओ
सब अवगुण को बिसराओ
हर संताप हटाओ
नारायण को हर्षाओ ओम शांति 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 ओम शांति शांति शांति
ओम सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनापधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ओम शांति शांति शांतिः सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ओम शांति शांति शांति. Rub your hands together, put it over your face, so that all that energy which comes from your fingertips, according to our yogic philosophy, will get into your system. Today's Preeti Bhoj is sponsored by Shyam Satya Arora family. Satya celebrated her 80th birthday on Tuesday last. She's a very strong supporter of our temple, and we wish her well. Next. No, I don't ready for that yet. Any other announcements? Okay. The virtual camp start tomorrow. Now this at 12:30. When we finish here, about 12:15, 12:30, we'll go outside, and we are going to do an indigenous, a prayer for the indigenous children who were the residential schools, and it's over 1,000 graves that they have. As far as my knowledge go, I think it's more than that, but we have the elder with us. He can probably bring us up to speed about how many graves, unmarked graves there were, the tortures they endured, and it is a time for us to go outside and pray and ask that hopefully this country can move forward in a peaceful manner. But I don't know how we can solve this issue. It's a very big issue. Now I would ask Colonel Lutz to come up with his padre, and there's a presentation for him. Do you have a mic to give it? And we also have the elder.
This one.
Colonel Lutz, where's the present? You got, okay. Go ahead.
Is it working?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is a special day for me, and I wanted to share it with my friends, you. And you'll hear a bit more about it, but I'd like to introduce you to, this is Jeff.
It's okay, you go ahead. Parvati?
Test 1, 2.
You're fine.
Test, okay.
Oh.
So beside me is Jeff Montague, and Jeff is the former chief and now elder of the Beausoleil First Nations. And Jeff is going to be speaking to us outside a little bit more. Also, he is going to be working with me to put together a monument for the First Nations people. This is Reverend Canon Gordon Mins. He is the commandant of the school at CFB Borden for chaplains. And so he's a very special man to me. He is going to explain what he's going to do. Won't take long, but it's a special day for me, and I wanted to share it with you.
Hey, give me one.
Testing 1, 2.
Too many mics. Give me
Too
one.
many mics.
Yeah.
Is this on now?
Yes.
Yeah, it's on. You can hear yourself.
Thank you. Well, it is an honor for me to be here with you. Thank you for welcoming us in your presence. Today, I represent a general. The chaplain general, Colonel Commandant of the chaplain service, is receiving today a Canada Decoration, a CD. And this acknowledges his work with the Canadian Armed Forces. It's supposed to be after 12 years. But Colonel Nuds has been with us a lot longer than 12 years. So this is an honor that is long overdue, having served with more than one regiment, and now serving with the chaplain school. Colonel Nuds, it's an honor for me to be able to present this Canadian Forces Decoration to you in acknowledgement of your service, your benevolence, your charity, your hard work, your faithful service. We thank you.
It's okay. You are the big kahuna. Okay. Okay. Where's my mask? All of us. Okay.
not have to start it again?
No, go ahead.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Lodima. Sorry we can't be there to celebrate your 80th birthday. Hi, Mom. Hi, Lodima. Sorry we can't be there to celebrate your 80th birthday with you, but we did want to share our wishes and appreciation for the very special gift that you are to us.
Even though we live miles away in different countries, you have managed to be an integral part of our everyday life.
As grandkids, you have been one of our biggest supporters. Whether it's attending our sporting activities, taking us to school, or just engaging us in family games and fun, you have laid the foundation of what it means to be a family.
As your children, you have shown us how to be a leader, to always give to others, and most importantly, to be a lifelong learner. We have seen you play active roles in the community and advisory groups. You have supported causes that are dear to you, and you continue to acquire wisdom to be our educator and to be our mentor as a mother, grandmother, wife, and sister. We thank you, and we want to wish you
a happy 80th birthday! We miss you and we love you!
Very good. So, Pretty Boys is sponsored by Shyam and Satya. Shyam? Come on. We'd like to present a plaque for Satya. She could not be here today, but we remember her and we present this plaque for 80th birthday for all her constant service.
बार बार दिन ये आए बार बार दिल ये गाए तुम जियो हजारों साल ये मनाई है आरज़ू Happy birthday to you Happy birthday to you Happy birthday dear Satya Happy birthday to you.
So, we are going to conclude now, and then there's food downstairs for another package for everyone, supplied by Satya and Shyam Arora. So we are going to do those. Sitaram,
Sitaram, Sitaram, Sitaram कहिए चाहे बीती राम के राम ताही बीती रहिए मुख में हो राम नाम राम से महान तू अकेला नहीं प्यारे राम तेरे साथ है बीती का भी जान जान हमारे राम सही चाहे बीती राम के राम ताही बीती रहिए अभिमान तो फिर मान नहीं
बिहारी लाल की
जय।
गुरुदेव की। ओम नमः पार्वती पतये हर हर महादेव. So after Aarti, if you can pick up your packages and you can come at the Peace Park where we are going to do this prayer, it will be very good. See if you can stay back because it's a very important, very important thing that our temple is doing today on behalf of the Hindu community to pay our obeisance for the indigenous children whose land we have taken, all of us. We have taken their land, made it our home, and imposing our way of life on them. Aarti.
Om Jai Jagdish Hare Swami Jai Jagdish Hare Bhakt Janon ke sankat Das Janon ke sankat Kshan mein dur kare Om Jai Jagdish
हरे वे फल पावे दुख बिन से मन का सुख बिन से मन का सुख संपत्ति घर आवे कष्ट मिटे तन का ओम जय जगदीश हरे
ओ मात पिता तुम मेरे
शरण कहूँ मैं किसकी स्वामी शरण कहूँ मैं किसकी तुम बिन और न दूजा प्रभु बिन और न दूजा आश करूँ मैं किसकी
ओम
जगदीश हरे
तुम पूरन परमात्मा तुम
अंतरयामी स्वामी तुम अंतरयामी पार ब्रह्म
परमेश्वर
ब्रह्म परमेश्वर तुम सबके स्वामी ओम जय जगदीश हरे तुम करुणा के सागर तुम पालन करता स्वामी तुम पालन करता मैं मूरख खल कामी मैं सेवक तुम स्वामी कृपा करो भरता
ओम जय
जगदीश हरे तुम हो एक अगोचर सबके प्राणपति स्वामी सबके प्राणपति मिलो दया में तुमको मैं कुमति ओम जय जगदीश हरे दीन बंधु दुख हरता ठाकुर तुम मेरे अपने हाथ उठाओ द्वार पड़ा मैं तेरे ओम जय जगदीश हरे विषय विकार मिटाओ पाप हरो देवा श्रद्धा भक्ति बढ़ाओ संतन की सेवा ओम जय जगदीश हरे तन मन धन सब है तेरा स्वामी सब कुछ है तेरा तेरा तुझको अर्पण क्या लागे मेरा ओम जय जगदीश हरे
ओम त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देवदेव ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम देवः शान्तिरन्तरिक्षगुं शान्ति पृथिवी शान्तिरापः शान्तिरोषधयः शान्तिः वनस्पतयः शान्तिर्विश्वे देवाः शान्ति ब्रह्म शान्ति सर्वगुं शान्ति शान्तिरेव शान्ति सामा शान्तिरे दे। ओम गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। बोलिए श्री सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय हो। सब संतन की जय हो, सब भक्तन की जय हो, सब तीर्थन की जय हो, सब आचार्यन की जय हो, अपने अपने सद्गुरुदेव भगवान की जय हो। धर्म की जय हो, अधर्म का नाश